Welcome to another exciting year of Knicks basketball.
And welcome to another edition of the Big Knick Energy podcast. First, check out our sponsor, Empire Original Designs at jointheempire.com, the East Coast #1 challenge coin manufacturer, the home of challenge coins, lapels, pins, patches, keychains, bottle openers, and more. Mention our podcast, Big Knick Energy, via email for 5% off purchases. Once again, that's at jointheempire.com. I'm your host, Joe Yoke, the Bald Kid Wonder. That's your co-host, Big Man, General Commander Burt, with the best mustache in the game and every other game known to man. And the Knicks are not the best at any games they're playing. Burt, we're gonna jump right into it, man. First off, how you doing in the snowpocalypse?
Great, just excellent. Yes, slept like a baby. Didn't watch.
How many inches you got over there?
Many.
That a boy.
Sizable.
It's actually, I don't ever want to ask that again. Asking someone how many inches of snow they have immediately just goes to a weird place. So anyway, the Knicks have lost 3 of the last 4. Or 6 of the last 7. Really, it depends on how bad you want to look at it.
I like that one. 6 of 7 is good. Yeah, that's a good way to
they lost 3 of 4 this week, 6 of 7 of total. They're 23-27 now. They're the 12th seed currently. Atlanta passed us, which is also having a horrendous season. Who would have known two teams that super duper overachieved last year when there was no fans in a very odd season, that crashing back down to earth would be a thing.
Yes, yes.
But because if you're the 9th seed or the 10th seed, you still have a chance to play for the playoffs. That means 11th and 12th is like 9th and 10th chasing like it used to be. Yeah. Basically, everyone gets a chance, which is really stupid. We usually would be fans clamoring for tanking right now, and now we don't.
Oh, see, but I like that though. I like that you do get, because listen, the first team that wins the championship from the play-in is going to be a legend, right? They're going to be a legend because they did the play-in, they got to the championship, and they won. Like,
the last team to make the finals is a 7 or 8 seed.
Who?
The Knicks. That's how often it happens.
So yeah, exactly. So we can do it again as the play-in. I like that.
Once every 23 years, give or take. We got this.
Sounds perfect to me.
Wait, is that a real stat, Joe?
Yeah, you can look it up. The last team to make
sad stat to start this podcast.
Finals is the 7th or 8th seed was in.
Why is that sad? That's actually that we overachieved, and
story.
Even though
that really just shows how, 1, a lockout shortened season, very odd, much like COVID has been, but 2, how making an in-season trade for someone like Latrell Sprewell can vault your team from nothing to almost winning the championship.
There it is.
Which basically just means true. Cam Reddish. We really got to let him get in there.
You're gonna compare Cam Reddish to Latrell Sprewell?
No, not currently, not ever. Maybe someday.
Hey,
man, that would be awesome.
All right.
But anyway, so the Knicks have lost 6 of 7. Bert, just so I could rattle off how bad the games have been this week. They lost 123-108 to the Bucks last night. They lost to Miami 110-98 on Wednesday. They lost to Cleveland in the closest game of the week, 95-93 on Monday. And they beat the Clippers, who don't have Kawhi Leonard or Paul George for the majority of the season, 110-102 Sunday morning. Well, noon. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're 1-6 in their last 7, though. They're doing terribly.
That Sunday game was nice, though. Everybody slept in because they expected the afternoon game to not go so well, and it went all right. But we were supposed to win that game, right? Like, we're supposed to beat the Clippers. So
the Clippers without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, their best players are like.
So
Luke Kennard was giving us problems, which is the scariest.
Luke Kennard always gives us problems. He's a tall shooter. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Bert, I'm going to throw out some stats to you real quick. I know stats are the least exciting part for people in most podcasts, but I just really want to beat this home. We are horrendous at free throws. And no matter how much we watch games or like how much ebbs and flows they're called free throws. They're supposed to be free points. And we keep losing games within relatively small amounts while also giving up like 10 plus points to the line over and over again. Hear this out. We lost last night by 15. We went 16 for 28 from the line. It's only 57%. Against Miami, we lost by 12. Lost 6 points to the line, 11 for 17, 64%. Cleveland was really close, and we went 11 for 21. That's 50%, and we lost by 2.
That's the one that hurts.
The
'Cause
one game we won, we went
Yeah.
84% against the Clippers,
Exactly.
16 for 19.
Exactly. I don't know what the free throw regimen is right now, but if you watch these guys at the line, none of them are bending their knees. Half the time when they're missing, they're just flicking it right quickly,
Yeah.
and it's just not looking real dedicated. Like they're just phoning it in at the line, and it shows because 50% is horrible. Like I can shoot 50%.
50%
Like,
is horrendous.
That's the one thing about the NBA and the rest of the world is the free throw is all the same between if you're in the rec league, if you're at the YMCA, if you're in the NBA, a free throw is a free throw. So you
Every
got to
single
make it.
place.
So when you miss it, it really bothers people. And when you lose games by 2 and you gave up, you left
10
10
points.
points,
Yeah.
10 points on the table. Come on. It's just not great. Not a great feeling.
Just to keep it going, because I did it for all the last 7 games that are 1-6 in. Against New Orleans, which we lost by 11, 24 of 36. That's 12 points left of the line, 67%. Minnesota, we lost by 2, 24 of 33, 9 points left of the line. That's actually over 70%. We were at 72. And then Charlotte, where we were getting blown out, but we only lost by 10. We were 11 for 21. 52 games, 11 for 21 in this stretch. That's so bad.
And it would be one thing if it was like Mitchell Robinson or Noel missing a ton, but it's
One of them
not.
was
It's-
Mitch going 1 for 7.
Yeah, I mean, and the centers are always going to struggle, right? That's always like a point in the taller you get, the harder the free throw is. So I'm not surprised by Mitch going 1 for 7. Like obviously, I want him to shoot better. It's Randall and RJ that's missing the most, and you're like, you guys have pretty good shot forms and pretty good three-point percentage. You would imagine the free throws would be a breeze, but they're just not. So is it a mental thing? I don't know.
That's a great segue right there, because I think it is a mental thing. I think this team is like somewhat mentally checked out on where they're at in the season and what they expected.
Yeah.
And I don't know I feel like it did start earlier in the year, because we started off like relatively hot. What were they? 4-1, 5-1 those first 6 games, and then just from there we've been doing horrendous.
Sure.
It was something like that. I think that they, like, between making the playoffs last year and then the quick start, they were like, all right, we're actually better than a lot of teams we're going to play. Like, we just need to like coast through most of the regular season, be healthy after the All-Star break and make the playoffs. And I think what they've come to find out is that a lot of teams, like most teams, underachieved last year and we overachieved. The Knicks were basically people in COVID that actually took the time off to work out, and then the rest of the league was taking the time off and getting fat and eating unhealthy because you're home and you're just doing nothing the whole time. And then what happens is that once everyone is doing the normal thing, it's like, oh, I'm actually not the best looking person here anymore. I'm like average.
Right.
I think that's where we're at right now. Trade talks are going around like bonanzas. What do you think is happening out there in the trade world?
Who knows? I can't even. Every other day, Berman has a new take on who's going where and what. I just saw the Fred Katz did a mailbag or something with people's proposed trade ideas. I don't know how this one got around. I heard this one was in real life. I heard people talking about it, that we're trading Randall and Walker to Minneapolis.
The trades that they show,
right?
Yeah, they play in Minneapolis. You got it.
Yeah, right. But who would they even trade for that package? Like, I'm not even like. And do we get Cat? Why would we trade Randall and a point guard for a center? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I think it was around D'Angelo Russell, which
and
I don't know if anyone remembers watching D'Angelo Russell when he was on the Nets, but like,
sure, terrible.
He's like scrappy. He's gotten better over the years, but like,
I'm just tired of trading for on the tail end of their career players. Like, I want guys who are coming into their prime, not exiting it.
I mean, Russell's not that old, isn't he?
I disagree, Bert. I'm a big fan of Russell. I like him.
I don't know about like him. I mean, the thing is, it's like,
how old is he?
We all would want. I think he's like 28. I'm gonna look it up. I think we would all want. You got it?
Yeah, hold on.
He's 25 years old, gentlemen.
He's that young still? Jesus.
Has he had injuries on his legs or knees or ankles?
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell had injury issues. That's why he was like out for a while.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would have to see how he finishes this year, I guess, to make a decision on that. I'm more interested, like, people keep saying Brunson over in Dallas, and people keep saying Fox in Sacramento.
Real quick,
And-
D'Angelo Russell's last injury was an ankle sprain back in November.
It's a sprain.
No, he was like out with an ACL or something. for a
November
year.
2021 was his last injury.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like he had a major injury back in the day. Like he used to have
Yeah.
like an ACL problem or something when he was on the Nets and missed like half a season.
Mhm.
I'm not talking about like a high ankle sprain or anything. No, but it's like you hear Minnesota and it's like we're Knicks fans. It's like, oh, how do we get Anthony Edwards? How do we get Cat? Like that's
don't
not
know.
realistically where we're at, unfortunately.
I don't think Anthony Edwards would ever be on the table. I mean, I can't imagine they would ever.
No, he's
trade
not.
him. So without him, I don't even think that's not even a conversation. I think a big conversation is Sacramento and the Mavericks, I guess. But you'd be surprised. Like there are so many players in the league that I can't even keep track of it all.
There's only,
Bless you.
I mean, if you think of it this way, man, following basketball is the easiest of the major sports.
Yeah, that's true.
They have the least amount of people per team.
That's true.
Let me ask Bert, if that is what's happening, who do you think is coming our way? Like what's in your radar?
Who do I think or who do I want?
What do you want? What's on your radar?
I think probably the conservative thing and something that's likely is some sort of 3-team with Sacramento and somehow
bringing who here?
Fox most likely, I would imagine.
I think the
But-
Fox and Bagley one that I saw on Twitter was like the most realistic looking.
Yeah, I
I've
agree
seen.
with that.
It was like Fox and Bagley for like Obi, a couple firsts, and I think Mitch. And I was like, that actually makes like decent sense. And
Yeah,
like we're
see-
giving up multiple first round picks with Obi Toppin, which means that it's actually like an asset worthy trade for another team.
Yeah,
Versus, I don't know if you've seen the other stuff. It's like, oh, we'll get De'Aaron Fox for fucking 2 firsts and Kevin
Yeah.
Knox.
see, that's the thing. Like,
We don't
As
have
a-
Knox anymore, but that was like the crap.
yeah,
we were
no,
saying.
I know what you mean. But as a fan, I mean, obviously, like we say it all the time. We really overvalue our guys and we undervalue everybody else's. And of course, we want to steal, right? We want to fleece them and get a good, package for giving up nobody. But realistic,
I think we're undervaluing Leon Rose. I think the man is capable
Well-
of some crazy things.
and that's it. I mean, and that's why it's difficult for me to even start thinking about second string and third string point guards that we could get, diamonds in the rough type of thing, because they so consistently find those guys that
We're
I'm
also
like, well,
so good with the 25th overall pick. Specifically.
yeah. So that's why I'm like, so now trading later picks in the draft, I'm like, now those to me are starting to gain value to us at least, because we are drafting so well. So
I got a question that's going to switch this around on you guys.
Why happened to you not talking that much this podcast
Yeah,
while you're
that's what-
hungover?
If Randall, sorry everybody listening, I'm hungover. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
If Randall, let's say they move Randall, right? What's a team you see him going to and succeeding? Let's switch it around.
Julius Randle is still at his peak, one of the top 20, 25 players in the NBA. It's not like that
Portland?
far-fetched for him to go to somewhere. He needs to go somewhere where fans aren't as mean.
yeah,
So like no New York,
Portland,
no Boston.
Oklahoma would love him, I feel like.
I
Portland.
mean, OKC would be, it would be great if we actually managed to trade with OKC for anything. They only have young assets.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, a point guard though.
SGA.
You said Portland, Bert,
Yeah, Portland.
and that's in the situation where Dame is there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not imagining taking Dame from them. I mean,
McCollum is still way more likely off of any
if-
team to
and
get
es-
than
and especially
Dame
if we're giving up Randall too. I mean, that would be great for them. They immediately get a stronger, bigger, better driver. So for them, I think it makes sense to target him. I think he would succeed really well in Portland, and the reason being is he's not going to have to be the facilitator, main ball handler, main.
so in that
option.
situation, would CJ be moved? And so it would
Yeah,
be
I think so. Because it was
all
not
right.
like
so
else they have?
Damian, if you're
who's
listening,
their center? Nurkic? Is that their center?
It's Nurkic, yeah.
yeah, it's Nurkic.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Did you
but-
say Damian? If you're listening, like Dame Lillard is listening to our
Yeah,
podcast.
Dame Lillard. I know you're
It's one of the
Hey,
400
listener of the
people
Knick
randomly.
Energy podcast. If
Yeah,
you
that'd
could
be-
request for Randall to be on your team and CJ to come here, that would be great.
That would be fucking hilarious.
And I might low key do that trade, like especially if we could finagle like another trade or a third team or something to also get a point guard. So that's why I'm not really thrilled about adding assets or anything like that, because it's like at the end of the day, we just need a point guard. That's it. We just need a point guard.
Let's get Norman Powell. That dude shoots over 80% from the line. He gets 16 a game.
I got some for you guys. You think the woes turn around when Derrick Rose comes back? You think the
Yeah,
trend changes?
Yeah, I think the entire vibe of the bench in the second unit changes with Rose there because he's just that calm, cool, collected player. He's initiating the plays. He's hyper aware of Thibodeau and what Thibodeau wants in that moment. And when
He also knows how to run an offense, shoot 40% from three, and shoot 80% from the line.
that part,
So Derrick Rose, if you're listening,
and he's a constant drive threat. Not even just to finish. And
Doesn't take his foot off the gas, constantly
Exactly.
tries. He doesn't get
Exactly.
in his own head anymore. We had to go through that the
Yeah.
first time we
all right.
had him.
So
He doesn't
we
do
were
that shit
we were
anymore.
talking before the pod how great Derrick Rose is, the stuff they don't get to listen to. So now we're saying we need a point guard. Bert,
What do I move
Do you ag-
Rose to get?
no, what- well, I guess we could talk about that, but if we need, I mean, Derrick Rose is phenomenal, right? Derrick Rose is great. Healthy, do we need a point guard?
Yeah, we still need a point guard. He's not even him and Kemba. If Kemba is even more healthy than he is now, we still need a point guard. Like
They both come from the same mold. They both they're shooting first. They don't really run offenses that well. They can set up some sets, but they're not like the Chris Pauls of the world,
Yeah, and for me, it's just their age. Like point guard is one of those positions where you can't show any rust, right? You can't be a step slow because you're just going to get beat on defense every time. So I prefer to have a younger point guard. So that's why I keep saying Fox. That's why I really like the Brunson idea too, but Brunson I don't think is that good on defense, and Fox I don't think is that good on defense. So I don't know. It's like you
Fox
take
usually is near the top of the league, in not near the top in steals, but he usually gets a steal or a half steal a game. It's just
he's active.
It's
He's
the old
active.
Russell Westbrook thing. It's he's trying to jump the passing lane, but he gets back cut when the guy goes the other way.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in those guys. I want younger players, really. That's all I'm interested in. Because hey, the more I watch Emmanuel Quickly run the point guard, the more I'm like, if McBride can come up and also have similar, success running the point guard, we don't need a point guard. We don't need
supposedly, man, between McBride and the G League, which we all follow way more closely because it is in America, and what Roku's doing in Barcelona, both very, very positive outcomes.
So we might even not need to trade for anybody to get a point guard. We might just do filler trades, do some favors for some people.
We might just be 2 years away from having a legitimate point guard already that we have rostered currently.
Yeah, I was just
none of them is going to be great at 22. They'd be great at 26.
I was just going to say that. Now, what's the situation of moving Julius where it doesn't really affect? It gives our guys more playing time. What's the situation?
He's not taking minutes away from anybody.
No, that's what I'm saying though. We move him. We let our young kids still play. We don't bring in a point guard that's
Obi specifically.
I don't want to see that. We still need Randall to take the majority of the media pressure, the shot pressure, and he has to be that guy right now. Back when Carmelo was here, if we used our drafting correctly, we would have had people coming up behind him who were ready to step into that spotlight. Look at San Antonio.
I'll still always blame Melo 1% or 2% for doing that, because if he just didn't force his trade in January and waited until when he was a free agent, we would have had Gallinari, Chandler, Felton, all of them on the team still.
Landry Fields or whatever. But no, look at San Antonio. They protect their rookies, their sophomores. They let their guys grow in the G League. They let them practice, and he puts them into the lineups gradually. And nobody in San Antonio complains because they're used to seeing the result and they trust the process. With us, Tibbs is still new, and we haven't ever really grown our own draft picks, right? We haven't extended anybody since.
Well, San Antonio gets a pass because of the championships and just their track record.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you trust Popovich.
He's also seen as one of the best coaches of all time. Tibbs never has gotten to the conference finals even.
Listen, but I see what the vision with what Tibbs is trying to do and how he doles out minutes and the rotations. And I know people are really upset with the amount of minutes Obi gets or whatever, but at the end of the day, if Obi's not ready to play meaningful minutes and actually look successful, I'd rather him get a talking to, go work on it in practice, and then when he comes in, he looks better. And every time these guys get minutes, they look better. So I don't really worry about how much minutes they're getting, as long as what they are getting is meaningful.
I have a question for you based on that then. Because like we're watching these games over and over again, they're not doing well. Like it's not like Julius Randle is closing the game out well.
No, he's
so
not.
like at what point does Obi's skill set or what he's learned pass or get to the point? Not that he's better than Randle at all. Like it'd still be up here and like way down here. But like when does it get to the point that like Randle's like doing so bad in a game and Obi is just has such a good plus minus and is so active that you just don't put Randle back in? Like Tibbs doesn't do the full benching. He's done it like once all year. You got like a full benching of his starters, but they were down 25. Like when do you do it when you're down 11?
I don't think that happens.
Brought you back.
I don't think that happens. I think he plays Randle no matter what.
And I think that stubbornness might actually make Tibbs be like not the coach by next year.
Yeah, you guys are crazy. Randle doesn't need to be benched, I don't think. He's not at the point where Obi just
to be benched doing bad for one game doesn't mean he's benched for the whole season, or doesn't mean he never closes again. It's like it's like one game he gets 26 minutes instead of the 36 he usually gets because he doesn't play the fourth really because
you got to think that he considers that. Tibbs, he benched Kemba Walker. He took him out of rotation. Everything's in his mind. You got to like.
Kemba Walker wasn't already on his team. He didn't like have a connection to him.
But that's what I'm saying. You got this guy who was an elite point guard, and then no problem, you're out of the rotation, buddy. Sorry.
Kemba Walker hasn't been an elite point guard in like 3 years. And
yeah,
has
elite point guard. Why are you
the capabilities to be an elite point guard? You got Kemba Walker.
Capability.
Just sitting on the bench.
I have a pulse.
Ben, please stop talking. You're talking like it's 2017. I'm not agreeing or actually like taking what you're saying seriously right now.
You got it. All you. I clapped.
Terrible.
Thank you.
Terrible.
Appreciate it.
What a take. Elite point guard.
Elite point guard Kemba Walker.
You're answering. And then you answer and it's some craziness. Like,
oh my God.
If you're gonna answer, at least.
All right, let's fast forward back to current day 2022, since we don't have an elite point guard or anything. It's like so hard.
No, but I liked what we were talking about with Rokas, McBride, IQ. Yes.
The future. It just might be 3 years away.
I don't even think it's 3. I think if we bring can we bring over Rokas after this year? Why don't we bring him back next year?
I don't know if it was a 2-year thing or a 1-year thing. They almost brought him this past year because he did well enough in summer league. I think it's only a 1-year contract he has with Barcelona.
Yeah, so I think he's just got to finish this year out, and then he can come over. I thought so. I'm gonna have to look up that, but I'm excited for that. And obviously we see McBride playing really well in the G League, and he's NBA ready, right? Like that's the next step. So I don't know. I think I got faith.
Yeah, I don't get how you go 25-8 every G League game, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't get 9 minutes in the NBA. Like, just let him stay on the roster at this point. I don't understand.
Yeah, he's just behind a lot of people.
So. Dude, I think our real issue is like we still have way too many wings, and adding Cam instead of Kevin
exactly.
Knox, like Cam Reddish is
nothing. It's
inherently better than Kevin Knox at basically every part of the game, but he's still getting the Kevin Knox treatment of 4 minutes a game since he's been here. Like, it's like forget getting rid of Randall. Like between Fournier, Burks, I guess you wouldn't trade Cam a week after getting him, but and you like RJ is on this team no matter what. But between Fournier, Burks, and Kemba, like someone in that trio, at least one of them has to go. We need we need to literally lose players just to be able to play other people. It's not even like about necessarily getting people back. We need more assets, like picks wise.
I think the idea would be to, send Fournier somewhere for cash considerations or a pick
worth a little more
two.
Than that. Fournier literally was a leading scorer last night again. He fucking
right?
Once every 4 games, man. Fournier carries our team. Whether we win or not is like a different thing. But
did you see? Okay, you didn't watch the game though. You were just watching highlights.
I watched the game.
Oh, okay. So did you see it might have been second quarter. It was early in the game, but Fournier gave up a foul and he screamed. He was like, "Come on!" He was pissed.
Yeah, dude. Also, it was I think it was like the second minute of the second quarter.
I think so.
He literally shows like the fire and drive and tenacity that our team doesn't have half the time either.
Yeah. And I like to see that he's like really taking it personal. Like, I gotta play defense, not just offense. I gotta play defense. I gotta get this stop because honestly, he's been better, but he was really bad on defense.
Yeah.
So I like to see that he's taking it personal like that. To me, that shows a guy who wants to stay with his guy and wants to do good for his team, and I like that. So I'm with it. So
It's
1 in
also a
every
little
4
thing that
games?
shows where Tibbs actually is really good at coaching. It's like if someone's a bad defender, he'll make them at least be okay.
Yeah, if they want to be, you gotta always put that in there, because if you don't want to move your feet, you're never gonna move your feet. Like that's it.
Which
with that.
before, not really about last night, but just in general during this 1-6 stretch that they have, he keeps playing Taj a lot, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why isn't Sims out there? It's not like Sims is in
yeah,
the league. He's on the bench. He plays
that's a
Taj a
weird
lot, and
one.
Taj has been getting like a lot of like 0 points, 4 fouls, in
Yeah,
12 minutes lines, and I'm like, yo, like I get this was your guy for 15 years, but he's clearly like lost it. He's losing in the right in front
yeah.
of our eyes.
But he's a good gel guy, and I think I don't know what it
Taj
is with
Gibson
Sims.
could
I
be on
mean,
our roster for the next 30 years as a coach. Honestly, like he literally can get hired as a defensive coach like tomorrow. I feel like he doesn't need to play still.
yeah, I agree. But it's weird to me that Sims doesn't get minutes, because we have been so banged up at the center position. It's like at least try to fit him in sometimes to see, but must be at practice he's not showing something, or maybe he doesn't know the playbook, the full playbook
I got a
yet.
question for you boys. Do you think that Tibbs is giving these guys their last run? Like, let's make it happen. And then in his head, he's going, okay, next year, this is what we're going to fucking do. These young
No.
guys are going to start.
No,
Giving the wheels
I'm gonna
Taj
say
and this.
it's
Like,
for Taj maybe, yeah, but for the other guys, it's like we just signed Fournier to a 3+1. We signed Noel to a 3+1. We signed Rose to the same. They're 2+3. It's like all these dudes that are like holding up the line, quote unquote, for someone that's behind them and younger that we as fans want to see since we're not competing for a title. They're on 3-year contracts. Like either we have to move them in order for that to really be a thing, or just have a lot of people get hurt, one or the other. And you don't
Yeah.
wish for the second thing, obviously.
right.
So I don't think it's actually that. I think it's more likely that Ben, I thought you were gonna say for this year, like the same exact example, like they're giving these guys a last hurrah to try to like stay in the postseason chase or do that. And then if they keep sucking by March or like by the All-Star break, even, which is only a couple of weeks away, that he's just gonna be like, all right, Nerlens, you're going down from fucking 28 to 19 minutes a game. Taj, you're not going at all. Burks, Fournier, if you guys don't have it, I keep trying to get you guys 30 minutes regardless, but if one of you doesn't have it, you're just benched. Like, we'll get Reddish in there. We'll get McBride some minutes. Like, the dude I feel worse for outside of Obi Toppin is McBride, because it's like IQ is the next person in line waiting for that spot, and he's only a year older than him. Like, I actually think McBride is like the second hardest path to getting minutes, even when we're like if we become a quote unquote tank team. Or what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, we have a ton of guards, and he's just isn't ready, I guess. I mean, they keep putting him in the G League. At least they're getting him minutes that way. But yeah, no, he definitely is going to be the last person you see. I mean, no, other than Rokas, obviously, but he's going to be
That's
the last
currently
person
on.
you
That's
see.
currently in
Yeah,
America anyway.
So
as I'm looking at something here, did you know Julius Randle has the fourth most minutes in the NBA?
Yeah.
In the whole league.
okay.
Do you
Well,
think?
last year him and
do you
RJ
think
were
he's-
1 and 2.
Do you think
Yeah,
Tibbs is burning this guy out?
no, he doesn't look tired.
I
No, he
disagree
looks
with that.
he looks disinterested sometimes. Although his shooting being as bad as it is, when you miss left and right a lot, it usually means because you're not like getting as much lift on your legs and you're trying to aim more. So that could be a possibility.
Yeah, but he'd be aiming because he's just thinking about it too much. So when he just shoots, it's fine and he makes it. Like you can tell when he pulls up, sometimes he thinks drive pass, and then he ends up, oh, I'm open, and he shoots. And you can see him thinking about it. But other times he just catches and shoots it, and it goes in, and it's beautiful. So
Yeah.
no, he's not tired. He doesn't ever look tired. Like even at the end of the games, he constantly, when he wants to give effort, he does. Same thing with RJ. Yeah, they
He's
play
in
a
his own
lot.
head.
Yeah, they're in their own head.
So
It's all mental.
I hear what you guys are saying. While you guys are doing this, I'm looking over some of the daily Knicks stuff. We're 23rd in the offensive rating, and we have top 15 offensive talent. What does that say to you guys?
We don't have a
I-
point guard.
Yeah, we don't have a point guard and we don't have a coach that masks that. It's
Exactly.
just those two
Look
things.
at-
Like we've just
I
been
was
where we're at.
watching Charlotte last night against the Lakers, and every single one of their guys is cutting to the basket. The ball
Yeah,
handlers
constant
driving,
motion. You don't get to
Yeah.
160 points in the game without moving constantly.
and we're not doing that. We're just playing a 2-man game with a guy in the corner and a guy in the box. That's it. That's all we're doing is a 2-man game, maybe that, and then if like then half the time it's an ISO anyway. So
we
and the
look,
reason-
we look for
we're-
mismatches all the time, but it's
Yeah.
like if you look for a mismatch, then you just do the clear out where it's 4 guys on one side and then Julius Randle or RJ dribbling with their back to the basket. It's like
Yeah.
none of those 4 guys are cutting, not one for 8 seconds. Like
Right.
that's how you average 100 points a game versus 120.
I
and
want to
some
read
of
you guys
that-
this little segment. I think you guys will like it. So the team is 23rd in offensive rating despite having top 15 offensive talent. After being first in defensive rating last year, they are now 12th. The writer refuses to believe that Reggie Bullock and Alfred Payton were the all-time great defenders who carried this team's defense. He claims that there is a problem with the Knicks coaching. It's their head coach, Tibbs. And he believes that Tibbs is on the hot seat more than the players.
This is a Berman take. What is this?
What is it, Daily Knicks? You said
This is the Daily Knicks, and this was written by Chris Gallagher.
Chris Gallagher. I'm not actually fully disagreeing with that. I also don't want to, like, I believe Alfred Payne and Reggie Bullock definitely helped for us to go from 12th to 1st because of Bullock and Payne over Fournier and, I mean, Kemba or quickly. Or
It's literally
whatever the
just
fuck.
Kemba. Just adding Kemba just detracted so much from our defense because at the point of attack, we don't have someone to stop the ball. That's
Yeah.
it. In
It's
transition,
tough.
we don't have someone to stop the ball. So that's it. I mean, that's all it takes.
But also the top, I don't actually think the Knicks have top 15 offensive talent. Like our best, our best offensive
where'd
player.
that come from?
Yeah, our best offensive player is Julius Randle, who's like the 21st best offensive player in the league, 22nd. So if we
Yeah,
don't have a guy in
22nd,
the
yeah.
top 15, we're not gonna have a team in the top 15.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
You hear
I
that, Chris
can't-
Gallagher? You hear that?
Yeah, I don't know where that top 15 comes from. That's a weird
It's-
number.
It's just a homerism thing. You just write
Yeah.
something to hope that
Top
people believe it
talent.
or stick.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
we got the talent for sure. I mean, looking at Kemba, Fournier and Kemba on paper, we're supposed to add a lot of offense, and they do, but they're also getting older. They're also playing in a system with a ball dominant power forward, which is like a really awkward system to get.
Fournier
used
is meant to play like a J.R. Smith off the bench role, Jordan Clarkson, like come in, play 25
Yeah.
minutes, sometimes play crunch time, and not have to deal with actually covering starting 2s or 3s or
to.
anything.
Yeah, that would
And-
be ideal.
And Kemba was taken as a flyer. He got bought
Yeah.
out. It was only
Yeah,
$8
yeah.
million, and it's
No,
like
no.
he could have played
Listen.
4 games and be like, oh, his knee it's falling off. I'm like, well, we tried.
I think the risk to reward with Kemba is phenomenal. I'm not worried about having him on the team. It's just you have to realize that he's the reason our defense is so bad right now. And
Yeah.
because we're missing rotations that a lot of our guys didn't have to make last season because they're not looking for that rotation because they never had to cover it. Now,
Yeah, Payne for what it's worth did actually stay with his
he,
guy most of the
he
time.
kept his feet in front of his guy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, yeah, the guy got to the basket still, but the guy in the center didn't have to rotate over. So
Yeah,
ball
we've talked
kick
about this
out.
too. It's like there's something to guiding guy. Like if your guy gets past you, you're guiding him towards Mitch's or Nerlens' strong side as opposed to having them go across and like you actually
Yeah.
got beat. Yeah.
So
Which I mean,
So
whatever.
you guys know De'Aaron Fox is 22 on the overall
Yeah.
list in the NBA right now.
Oh.
Going back to what you
De'Aaron Fox's main issue is clutch. His last 5 minutes numbers are horrendous. That's
fine.
always been the knock against him since he's coming. It's like
That's fine.
his,
He'll
like,
he'll come to the Garden, the fans, he'll hear the roar, De'Aaron Fox, and he will become a clutch player.
Bert, we say that about every person, and then what happens more often than not is that Julius Randle happens, and it's like,
What?
it's too scary.
Oh,
I feel like
There's too
Birch-
many
scary.
people.
Birch read like a children's book about the Knicks. That was beautiful.
It's gonna happen. All right, that's my.
And
that
you've
is my
earned your talking
children's book.
privileges again. That was really good.
De'Aaron Fox. I don't even know how that would go. Fox.
I'll just say Darren.
Uh,
I know it's a mispronunciation, but you know whatever.
You're already here first, folks. Darren Fox coming
I
to
want
New York.
Speaking of chants, I want to change Obi Toppin's chant to just Obadiah. Can we just go Obadiah?
God, that's
Like,
fire.
I'm very interested in that.
What a good idea.
That would be really good. Also, can we just get rid of MVP chants for anyone on this
Yeah.
team for the next 10 years? Like, we don't have an
unless they've won an MVP chant, which I will,
right, exactly.
I will
So in
chant
essence,
MVP
Derrick
for
Rose
Derrick-
is the only one.
I will chant for Derrick Rose MVP all day because he earned it.
Yeah.
You mean
But the
Exactly.
you mean when Randall's shooting free throws, you're not gonna
Yeah,
MVP while he
bro.
misses them.
No.
For a guy that
No.
for a guy that shoots fucking 73% from the line. Yo, dead ass. Regardless of anything else we've talked about today or any other day, the Knicks free throw shooting has cost them 5 to 7 games this year.
At least.
Straight
At
up.
least.
It is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Joey,
terrible.
you got better free throw percentage than Randall right now, bud.
Listen.
I might. No, I'm
I-
terrible at free throws, Vinny.
I went to Dave and
the
Buster's
worst
last week.
white person ever when it comes to shooting.
I went to Dave and Buster's last week and I did the big high shot basketball. 36 I got. 36.
Nice.
It's pretty
Let's
good.
That's better than
Go.
Randall, bro.
That's what I'm
better than
saying.
He might be able to get
That's
you a
what I'm
10-day,
saying. just to shoot free throws though.
Oh my god, dude! It's
Imagine
just,
they did pinch shooters instead of like pinch hitters. That's like the progression of the game. Just you only have shooters, dribblers.
I wish they
big
changed the
men.
rule in the NBA that if you actually get too hurt to shoot the free throws, the other team gets to pick who's shooting them for you. That's why no one actually misses taking the free throw shot. It's because if fucking Julius Randle like broke his leg, they're picking Mitch Robinson to take the shot. It's like, oh, who's your worst shooter? If it was you could pick the thing and be like, oh, Julius Randle got hurt.
I think
IQ, get in there. You shoot 90%.
No, I think you can get around it because it has to be a player that was in the game.
Right, that is
So-
played played currently.
Yeah. So can you sub in someone and then?
I actually no, dude. The other team picks. I'm pretty sure they could pick
Yeah.
your 15th guy if they want.
Oh yeah. Terrible. F.
They're like
Hate it.
Kevin Knox, get out there. Even though you shoot 80%, this is clutch. It went down to
Yeah.
0.
These guys got to practice their free throws, man. I don't know if it's being on the road and they're not practicing as much or the lockdowns and stuff. Like people are getting nervous about being out in the practice facilities, but
In case
free
anyone's
throws-
wondering, I'm saying Kevin Knox jokes because he's a Hawk now, so it's me just taking more Hawk digs.
yeah, I don't.
You
They
ever
were,
you ever like get the concept like the more you think about it, the worse it gets? I think these guys know they're bad at free throwing and they think and talk
Yeah.
about it constantly.
yeah.
And that's why they're so fucking bad at it. Because when they're at the line, they're thinking about that talk Tibbs gave them about the free throws. Like,
Well, and the last miss, the last clutch miss, like, oh, if I made that, we would have won. If I made that, it would have been different. And you think about those misses when you're up there trying to make one, and it's like it messes everything up, messes up your form. It makes you rush it, and it's just you're not breathing right. So, but I just can't get over, man. They don't bend their knees, and it's like at least give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
Bend your knees and just take your time. Like look at Giannis. He takes a long time, takes a long breath, does the whole shooting thing, but he makes his free throws now. So it's like it doesn't seem ridiculous when he's making.
Also, if you think of it from a really, really selfish standpoint, the longer you take, the longer the camera's on you. I think Giannis
Well,
does that partly purposely. He's like,
no,
I'm going to get 10
it's a
seconds of
breather.
camera time.
And it's a breather. Think about it. If you go to the line 10 times and you take the full 10 seconds, you just got 100 seconds of break.
Oh, before we go, by the way, I don't know how we haven't mentioned this yet. The Donovan Mitchell thing that's been going around because
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
a good one. That's a good one.
some scouts said that they're a first round exit from Donovan being in New York. Donovan Mitchell would solve a lot of our problems.
I actually
I mean-
saw that. I saw that title, but I saw it reversed. So the first time I saw it, someone posted it and said that the Jazz are a first round exit away from trading him. And then later that day, I saw the title again, and it was the Knicks are a first round exit.
No,
away
it
from
says
trading
they're
for
like
him.
it says they're a first round exit from Donovan being in New York. There is in the Jazz. Like if the Jazz tank or don't do well in the playoffs, not tank, but like if they blow it in the
No, right.
playoffs again with like they have been.
Right.
then.
And I seen it. So I seen that title, same thing later. Someone edited it and made it say the Knicks are one loss away from trading for him.
The person that wrote that probably is a Knicks fan and
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's all
There-
it's all
this
lies.
this team and fandom
Lies.
more than any other team or fandom I've ever known or been a part of like is like really does have this whole like ethocentric like the universe revolves around us mindset. It's wild. It's like
we're New Yorkers, Joe. Are you kidding?
I'm sure for
Yeah.
other New York teams, Jets fans aren't like that. I mean, Yankees fans are like that, but like
Okay,
Jets,
Jet
Giants,
fans are absolutely just as delusional, if not more, than Knicks fans. Really
No
wanna go
shot.
there?
I mean, if you're gonna use Vinny Perry as your source or Vinny Merhotas, then yes, I agree with you.
Twitch.com/VidDot.
Yeah, exactly. Shameless plug, by the way. Watch him on Twitch. He's pretty good at Fortnite, from what I hear.
That's why you gotta actually look at your sources. I mean, half the time you want to look at these sports journalists and say, "Oh, these guys are gonna know," but half the time it's like you read these articles and it's all speculation anyway. It's just to get clicks and headlines, and it's all bullshit. So
I
of
was
course
gonna
the fans do it too. We all
Knicks
do it.
and Yankees are the two New York teams that have this very crazy, like, we deserve or we get everyone mindset. The
Right.
Yankees at least have 27, 28 world titles to their
Yeah.
name for it. The Knicks
It's
have
different.
2.
It's different with the Yankees too because there's no cap, so you
Yeah.
can pay them as much as you can afford to pay them.
Yeah,
So,
baseball's really set up for New York, Chicago, and LA to
Yeah.
be like, if you don't make the
That's it.
playoffs every year, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So, but basketball, they put the cap in place, so it's more like we are on paper like it's a more notable city, right? Like LA, New York, Chicago, Miami, the big markets, right? That's what they say, the big markets. But not every person wants to be in a big city, so I'm not sure that
A lot of
is,
people can't even handle the heat, as we know over and over again.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
Bert, the
We'll
last
see.
thing I want to do before we go is I'm actually going to go on the NBA trade machine on ESPN and then see what it would look like for us to get Donovan Mitchell from a cap standpoint. And then we
Yeah,
could.
what is his contract? I'm actually interested because I don't know. I don't know his contract.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I have to go on this fucking thing. NBA trade machine.
I just don't. The reason I didn't pay that speculation much mind is because I don't think he's available. I think Utah is still going to try to get a championship with him. And
I don't think he is either, but he is known to be a diehard Mets fan, and he actually loves New York.
Yeah, but that's not a reason to throw away a good relationship. Like, their team is a lot better off than the Knicks are, and I can't imagine.
It's 28 mil a year. He makes way less than Rudy Gobert. That's so
not a
funny.
lot. That's
Rudy
not a lot.
Gobert makes 35 million a year.
Yeah, they paid him.
That's
They paid
wild.
him. Yeah, he's worth it though. I mean, he's
Crazy.
consistently top 3 defensive, right?
Oh, they have Norvell Pell. He's not even available to be offered on this thing because I don't think he's getting paid right now. But yeah.
This is Knicks flashback. Oh, Norvell Pell. Remember that
Yeah.
guy?
Like, oh, look, they have Pell. That's nice.
Wow.
Yo, while
I
he's
love-
looking, I got a question. What's your guys' favorite B-side Nick player in the past? You know how we had these like whatevers in the past like 8 years?
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go ahead. I fucking love Bargnani. I loved it. I loved him. Italian.
Go ahead.
Gabagool.
You have lost.
I got to lose it again. All
your
right. Bye.
speaking
That was
privilege.
my favorite one. Who's
Oh, I
yours, Bert?
fucking love Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. was so cool on this.
He's not a B-side though. Like he was a starter.
Kind of. I mean, he's like
He
a
was a
starter,
starter.
but like
And
not.
Bargnani was a starter too.
Bargnani was a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. So those are not B-sides. So you're gonna have to go ahead and revise your definition of what we're talking about. I'm thinking like Malik Rose or Jerome Williams.
Love me some Langston Galloway action.
Langston Galloway is a B-side. Like,
Langston Galloway, sick. I forgot about him. Sick.
All right, so he's making 28 million a year. So just to throw out a couple names that made the trade possible. Also, not like they would do this, but it would also include a shit ton of first round picks, just in general. But 28 mil a year is equivalent to basically Fournier, Burks, and then one of the cheapest contracts on our team. Fournier,
that's
Burks,
not terrible.
Luka Samanak, and Mitchell Robinson for Donovan Mitchell, according to the Hollinger trade machine, which
You
is
said
bullshit.
who? You said Fournier, Burks, Robinson?
Luka and Mitch Rob.
That's 4 people. I guess that makes sense, huh? He's that good of a player, huh?
You're still giving away first round picks too, yeah.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt. Oh, yeah.
But what's funny is that the John Hollinger thing that they have on ESPN, which I mean, I don't even know why the fuck they have this dude do anything at this point. But it says that the Knicks would be losing 2 wins and the Jazz would be gaining 1 win out of that, which doesn't take into account the fact that they'd have to get rid of like a third of their roster and to figure out who's worth it.
Wait,
And then also they got
what?
rid of Donovan Mitchell to play Fournier and Burks. I'm like, in what world do the Jazz
Completely
lose less games like this?
Completely broken. It's probably taking career averages for Fournier and
It goes strictly off that year's PER.
yeah, no, throw that in the trash.
Also, Mitchell Robinson has over a 20 PER on our team.
I don't care. That's a
awesome.
completely useless stat. I don't want
It
to hear
is.
that.
It is useless, but it's just funny.
So why would they even use that? So
It's like because it's fucking John Hollinger.
because the people who are using trade machines are exactly the type who look at PER and say, "Oh,
Exactly.
this is we're gonna gain a win."
Hey, did you know that Mitchell Robinson is the best player on our team according to this thing?
Exactly. Yes, I did know that actually. Yo,
Yeah.
low key though, he's been good.
He's been really
He's
good.
been good.
He yammed on
Defensive?
Giannis yesterday to start the
Yo.
game, and I was so hyped. It was
He
so
was-
hyped.
His defense has gotten a lot better, and that's because he put that strength on, man. And
Or
it's
you say he's
like,
untouchable or no?
listen,
He's about to be a free agent. What do you mean untouchable?
yeah,
I'm saying they prioritize this guy.
What do you mean prioritize?
Like, do you think they prioritize re-signing, make him?
Oh, I don't know, honestly. Like, it
I
depends
can't
on.
see how he lands on our team still because we have so much depth problems at other positions.
Yeah, I wanna extend him personally, but I think he's untouchable as a fan of the Knicks and a fan of Mitchell Robinson because I love his story too. Like, yeah, he's just a good guy. Like, he comes to work, he gives great interviews. Like, people are saying,
Also,
oh,
he
he's
gives a fuck. He cares.
yeah, he obviously cares and he obviously puts in work because you don't get that big if you're not putting in work. So and you don't lose the weight if you're not putting in work.
I was gonna say exactly. He
let's-
got up to 280, mostly muscle, without being able to do cardio, and then realized, oh fuck, I fucked myself up. Got back down to 250 within 2 months.
That's wild. That's dedication. Like, that's the type of guy you want on your team. Like, even though he's not, and I will say a big reason why I'm saying, oh, he's improved so much more is because he's catching the ball on the block. He's asking for
Yeah.
it low, like he's about to post. And people are saying all the time, Noel has no offense. Mitch has no offense other than lobbing. So, okay, let's give him the ball on the block. Yes, he's only doing little simple spin moves. He's only, using his muscle to kind of bump and get close. But who cares? As long as you're good at that, like, that's points. That's
Also, the
bucket
vast majority of the NBA has 6'10", 6'11" centers now. So if
Exactly.
you're 7'1" with a 7'3" wingspan, you can
should
yam on
be-
them pretty easily.
you should be.
And he's been prioritizing
dominating.
offensive rebounds and been killing. it.
Yes.
Yes.
He's been killing it. His intuition, the ability to just go up between guys because he is pretty slender still compared to real bigger guys. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm with it, man. I want to extend him. I want to keep him. I really don't imagine a world like we don't have him. And I don't really when people were talking about Miles Turner, it's interesting to think about a stretch center, but he doesn't exactly fill up our problems on defense, and he's not exactly going to help us get 20 more wins. He's not that type of player. So who cares? Keep the guys that you like and are growing with.
Let's make this part be the last thing. I'm going to do a quick exercise with both of you since I am looking at the
God.
trade machine. I'm
Here-
not going to
here
do
we
more
go.
Oh
trades.
yeah, I'm allowed to talk and shit. Let's go.
I'm not going to do more trades. I'm just going to say each player's name that's on this currently and then say yes or no if they're on the team the beginning of next season.
The beginning of next season. Okay.
Julius Randle,
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Evan Fournier,
Yes.
No.
Yes. I think he'll still be there.
Derrick Rose,
Yes.
Yes.
Alec Burks.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying no. That's my first no for Burks right
I think
there.
he's
Okay.
moving. I
Alright.
think he's moving before the trade deadline.
I think he's the guy we moved before the deadline too. Kemba Walker.
That's your bias. No.
Yeah.
Well, it's Burks or Fournier. I think they both might move. Honestly, I'm not even.
Yeah.
I'm still in on Kemba. I think he was too cheap and I let go.
Wait, you
You
both
might
said
be
yes to
right.
Kemba?
Vince
They're
said
keeping.
no.
No, they're keeping Kemba. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
Vince
there.
said no. I said yes. I think he's gone. But when you said that he's so cheap, it's silly not to. I think you're probably right that he is so cheap that it's like you might as
Kemba
well
and
just
Burks
keep
make
him.
basically the same amount a year. Burks gets paid less than $1 million more. It's almost the same contract. I'm saying no to both of them. Burks and Walker, I think,
Wow.
are both gone by next year.
So we
RJ, I
keep
think
Fournier.
we're
We
all going to
keep
say yes to RJ.
Fournier. Yeah. Yes.
course,
Of course.
yeah,
Of course.
course.
Yeah. It's not even that's a discussion.
Yeah, I figured that. Nerlens,
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish we could say, Burr, I know you're going to feel the same as me. I want to say
know.
no because I'd rather keep Mitch, but
I know.
we signed Nerlens and Mitch isn't signed, so I'm going to say yes,
I think
unfortunately.
Noel's going to be our backup point guard for like next 3 years.
What?
What?
You lost your talking
Contract?
privileges again.
What's his contract? He's got a Noel.
You said Noel's
No,
going to be
no.
our backup point guard.
Point
Why?
guard,
Or sorry,
yeah.
center. Sorry, you guys know what I mean. God damn it, you know what I mean.
We know. It's been a long morning for you.
I've hung over podcast watchers, viewers. Leave me
Been
alone.
a rough 45 minutes.
Drink water. Drink more water. Hydro
Obadiah.
I'm on my third water of this pod, by the way.
Obadiah, man. Like,
I'm saying no.
He
The
might
deep-
be our best asset.
Yo,
Get
but the
rid of
more I know, bro.
I think
but the more we
Obadiah-
talk-
Forces a trade out of here.
What?
He's
I
not.
don't think
You're-
that at all. He's
you're
from New York. I think
insane.
he'll deal with it,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think if he doesn't start
Yeah.
getting minutes, he's not going to want to be here anymore.
Why would you not want to play in Madison Square Garden, even if you play for 10 minutes?
The point that which I forgot which one of you said. I think it was Vin that the Leon Rose and then Tibbs thing. The fact that like I think Tibbs would be more likely to leave in Leon Rose's eyes than him getting rid of Obi or IQ.
Keep
honestly.
going. Throw Tibbs at the end of the list.
Taj.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think this is Taj's last season. I think he retires. I hope he's part of our coaching staff. Honestly, I don't think he's playing anymore though.
How many more years he has on his contract? 2 years.
It says 2 years, $5 million a year, but I can't imagine.
Well, I'm going to say he stays because nobody wants him. I say he rides his contract out to the end.
Yeah,
his contract can expire June after this season.
Oh, after this season, it's a team option.
Then maybe he retires. I'm with that.
Oh, if it's I didn't know it was a team option. Yeah, he's probably.
It's the bird rights, which means they can sign him for this thing or not. Yeah. Kayla Cam. I can't imagine why he wouldn't be on the team now.
He stays.
Yeah, he probably stays.
Ryan Archidiakono, there's no Shies playing.
Who?
All
right. Just so you guys know, Ryan Archidiakono, he was a Bulls point guard. He also won a championship with Villanova. Just see.
Did you practice saying his name?
I've known Ryan Archidiakono since like 8 years ago.
Joe's really good with the obscure names. He kills it with that.
Also, he's Italian.
Hey, Gabagool.
Hey, Gabagool, exactly. But we signed him as one of the 10-day hardship things, and now he's just on the team. Also, he's making $3 million a year because he's such a veteran for so long, which is wild.
Ryan. There you go, Ryan.
Exactly. Lucas Samanek.
Who?
Yeah, he's probably on the team. I don't know. I think
does he ever play? He should play.
The only person I said no to is Fournier. I think that's kind of telling, huh?
Didn't you say no to Kemba too?
I think he said no to Julius.
I did say no to Kemba,
and we all said no to Taj.
Yeah.
So you're at right. 4. IQ.
He stays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We keep IQ. Sure.
Grimes.
Yeah. Obvious.
Yep.
McBride.
McBride maybe moved.
Yes.
Maybe moved.
McBride might be moved in one of these deals.
Yeah. If they're looking for a guard, a real guard.
Yeah. The more we talk, the more I think we're not doing any trades, and we're keeping.
Yeah, we're gonna have the same fucking roster next year. What are you guys saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. 30 and who's ready? 30 and 52, baby. McBride. Oh wait, we just said that. Sims.
He stays. Yeah. I think he's a little bit of our future. He stays.
Does Joe Kubitis actually make our roster next year, or is in Barcelona one more year?
No, I think he comes here. Let's. I'm gonna put that good energy out there. He's coming to the Knicks next season.
I think he's watching the Knicks and going, I ain't coming to the Knicks next season.
No, he's like I could instantly make them better. That's what he's thinking.
Then every single dude that plays overseas, the NBA is the creme de la creme. You try to get to the NBA.
What's his name again? Last name?
Rokas Jokubitis.
Look at here, Joe. Go, Joe.
And then Mitch Robinson, last guy. I left him last purposely.
He's here. Yes.
I don't think he is. I just don't see how they have him and Nerlens on the same team again.
I see him getting big money somewhere.
They're currently on the same team now. What?
That's what I mean. For 1.8 mil, he is. But what Vin just said, the big money thing, I think he's going to be offered 15 mil. He's going to be offered 15 mil by somebody, and we're not going to match.
Which would be ass.
I don't
like
to think
it would be ass, but it makes for him it makes sense, you know.
For him, it makes sense. Yeah, honestly, like if he can make more money, I would.
Mitchell, if you're listening.
But if he likes New York, hey, maybe he takes a little pay cut. Nah,
it's harder, especially even more. I don't want to get into politics or anything, but the more and more New York and inflation goes up, like the higher cost, like we have like the second highest cost of living.
But it's New York though.
It is, but like if you're Mitchell Robinson, he also likes like cars. He likes like the countryside.
He's a Southern boy. Even when he commented on our thing, he was like, "I'm not a New Yorker."
Yeah, no, dude. I think Mitch Robinson wants to. I feel like if Houston was a good team, he'd be trying to go to like Houston or somewhere like there. You know,
Dallas.
Yeah.
You're insane.
You know that all of our players eventually go there. So.
Yeah, sooner. I mean, Mitch Robinson's in a long line.
So there you go, Vin.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
You think Robinson
Reggie Bullock?
Robinson for Brunson, huh? That's what you think?
Nah, Vin's a New Yorker. Robinson for Doncic, straight up.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be Robinson for Doncic and Porzingis back and all their picks.
and Hardaway and Ntilikina. Take Ntilikina back just for good.
And we get Mark Cuban too in that deal.
All right. And on that, we are done with the Big Knick Energy podcast. Yeah, Mark Cuban coming to New York. Goodbye, James Dolan.
If you're listening, Mark.
We love you. Check out our sponsor, Empire Original Designs, to join the Empire.com, the East Coast #1 challenge clothing manufacturer. home of challenge coins, lapels, pins, patches, keychains, bottle openers, and more. Mention our podcast, Big Knick Energy, via email for 5% on purchases. Once again, that's jointheempire.com. I'm Joe Yoke. That's GC Burt. That is Hungover Vin. And shoot and practice your damn free throws, kids.
That's it.
Make your free throws.
Julius,
Peace.
make it free throws. Julius, go Knicks.